Well, bars can be very sad places. Some people spend their whole lives in a bar. Just yesterday, some guy sat right here next to me for 11 hours.
Yeah, what kind of a life is that, huh?
Well, it's pitiful, you know? And you know, the sad thing is, you know that guy's sitting in a bar somewhere right now, drinking a beer, going on and on about nothing.
Chris Scouser here with
Matt Howell, and this week on the first run, we check out another horror movie. This one, a interesting take, or at least a piece of genre that we don't typically get. It's a gay love story with a demon that makes things not go well in Leviticus. I mean, that's an understatement, but you know, we'll get into it. And then Chris will give you the top physical media releases of the upcoming week. And and then I'll wrap us up our show.
major announcement. Matt hit basically a half an hour before we sat down to record. And by the time this drops, it's going to be old news. But it's a major release. Long rumored, well, maybe rumored for the last couple months, but it's official. We'll talk about that when we get to that segment. That's what we call a teaser, folks. But Matt, here's for you. Here's a clip from Leviticus.
You like it here? What do you like about this place?
My mom wanted to move here. Stuck in this shithole.
So, there's nothing you like about this place?
Nothing. Indecency. Lust. Desire. It has to go now. Look at the light.
Well, that sounds unsettling, Matt.
Yeah, it does. Well, I mean, it is a horror movie, Chris. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what this horror movie is about?
Sure. So Naeem and his mother moved to a kind of an isolated, very religious town here in Australia. And it's like a mill town, kind of on the outskirts, I guess, right? And his father's passed away. Naeem's father's passed away. And he connects with this other local kid there named Ryan. And the two of them, these guys, they fall in love, basically. And then they are, what's the word I'm looking for here? Exposed. They are to a kind of conversion therapy involving the Lord and fire that basically, if they give into their urges, if they see, but that's the thing, right, Matt? It makes you think like it wants to keep you on the straight and narrow. But I guess once this interaction, this therapy occurs, they are now haunted by something that is stalking them at all times, but only when they're alone. And then it will eventually kill them if they cannot figure out a way to stop it.
Yeah. So, Chris, that little description there, it seems very familiar. Have we heard that somewhere before?
We may very well have.
Yeah.
This film is slightly derivative of, and people say, it's out there. It's not like we're breaking new ground here, nor is this film, in a way, where it borrows heavily from It Follows, which is like a first-run favorite. I think it would go in the pantheon, Matt, if we still talked about such a thing. But yeah, I have here, like, it's a dusting of It Follows. It's a little more than a dusting of It Follows. But I think it takes that conceit, brings it into this world, right, of this gay love affair. And I should say not gay love affair as if it's some trite thing. It's also very much a coming-of-age film of two boys who are kind of really discovering who they are and embracing perhaps who they really are at their core in a world that is constructed around them that exists basically to not just stop it, but destroy it. And I think that's really the key for this entire film for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting to pair this. You know, we talked about It Follows and maybe even to an extent Obsession. But this is... Whereas It Follows is like a warning. It's like maybe an STD that follows you, right? This is more like a demonizing of your desires and who you are kind of thing, right? And everything is in this is kind of factored in to kind of show in a physical way, like what conversion therapy does to people, that kind of that exclusion of LGBTQIA plus people in the world, that still happens today in places far and wide. And I think overall, while it may be a little bit derivative, I think it's pretty successful, and it's pretty creepy. I mean, I've never been so nervous for someone getting an old fashioned in my life.
An old fashioned. Oh, I forgot all about that. I think that yeah, that's a long time since I've heard that phrase for that act. That is. I was thinking because I was at a comedy show. I was at Comedy Bang Bang in Charleston this past weekend, and great show. If you have a chance to check out the tour, please do. I stopped off at a bar and I had an old fashioned, so that's immediately what my mind flashed to, and I'm like, I don't remember anybody ordering an old fashioned in this movie. What's he talking about? But yeah, no, you're right. You're exactly right about it. It is clearly not a very subtle critique of conversion therapy. In fact, Matt, from the film's opening image, which brings me back to the Matthew Shepard story, that wire fence, right? That was very famous from that. If you're not familiar with the Matthew Shepard story, he was a young man who basically was gay, was found out, and he was killed. And found kind of was wrapped up in the wires of this fence. That's what the film opens on. So you know what we're going to be talking about here, right? And this is, as we said, a very strong critique of conversion therapy and all the horrors involved in it, particularly also in those religious communities. And I would add, too, as Matt said, I think one of the more frustrating and depressing things for me while watching this, too, is just how far back we've gone. You know, over the last 10, 15 years or so, things have gotten immeasurably worse for our gay, trans, lesbian questioning community. Things are worse than they were 10, 15 years ago, which is something I didn't really think could happen. But here we are. And I think that's what really brings home the power of this film for me, right? We have these poor kids who have this horror imposed upon them, right? And I think why the film works so well, too, is that Naeem and Ryan, I think there's really great chemistry between the two of them. And the coming of age portion of the film, in the beginning of the movie, I think is very effective to kind of then have us identify with these two kids and really hope for them that, you know, especially him coming up, Naeem coming off his father's death, moving to the new town, really dealing with a lot of unsettling feelings, which triggers our event, right? He catches Ryan with this other boy, Hunter, right, in his backyard, doing probably what I assume is the most Australian outback thing ever, throwing rocks at each other as a form of what do you call it, Matt?
Entertainment?
No, the rev up to actual sexual activity.
Oh, foreplay.
Foreplay. Thank you. Dear God, I need to call my doctor. And he catches then Ryan and Hunter having like an intimate moment together. He freaks out about this. He's hurt. He's confused. So he tells Ryan's father, who is also the preacher in this town, and then they bring in this whack job faith healer kind of guy who then imposes this curse on our boys here. And then what happens later on is, I don't know if I'm spoiling too much here, but his Name's mom knows Naeem is gay as well. So then she brings in the same preacher who then puts the curse on him. Not the cure, but basically the cure, the curse. And when we have that reveal, so we have that initial betrayal, right? And because he feels, I think, betrayed himself by finally opening himself up to Ryan and seeing him with Hunter. But then his mom then betrays him as well, doing the same thing. And it's because this stuff's not just born, I think, out of ignorance by a concerned family, maybe because you're a misguided desire to protect or fix what you think maybe is something wrong. There's a great scene near the end of the film when we get the reveal about the mother, who may be a little more on board and understanding what's happening the whole time and views it as a way to protect her son. It just adds, I think, to the horror. But another great touch of the film for me, Matt, was the use of mirrors. Because there's a bunch of scenes in the movie where we see names reflection, or we see Ryan and names reflections in mirrors, because that's what it is. It, whatever it is that's following you, pardon the pun, will project to be the thing that you want the most. All right. And maybe it's not now, it could be in the future. Say they even run away from each other and they start their lives over. It's always going to be after them. And if they find somebody new, it's going to look like that person. So I love the use of mirrors in there to show that not only it's like they're versions of themselves, but they're not even safe from each other, which I think is what. Well, here, you know what? I pulled a clip here because I was reading and then listening to BJ Colangelo's discussion of the film. She posted this on her Instagram, and I think it absolutely nails it, particularly at the end.
The entity's arrival is even more insidious than the one from It Follows because it strips them of the one sanctuary and solace that they have, which is each other. And as the film declares textually, that's what they wanted, us to be scared of each other.
So one of the big things that I appreciated too is like, Matt, you and I, oh, there's my dog doing her shake, if you heard that. We don't know what it's like to exist in this community. We're having to be concerned or scared everywhere you go. Like, what can I do? Can I hold my partner's hand? Can they kiss them in public where I am right now? We don't know what that's like. And we've gone backwards. We've regressed in that environment, in this, not even, I guess, in the planet right now. Right. And I just can't imagine what that's like. And I think that's one of the reasons why this film is so successful by Adrian Chiarella. They really are able to kind of capture that feeling of living in this kind of community and what it's like for these people. I can't imagine the amount of horror, how maybe terrifying this film is if you are a member of this community, how urgent it must feel. And I think really that's one of the things that really tipped it over the edge for me, is how something that can be, I hate to use this term, I wish I had a better one, I wish I was smarter, but I hate something that is this derivative of things we've seen in the past, can feel still so just urgent and terrifying today. Yeah, I just think this thing was a success, Matt, from top to bottom.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's it's like you said. I mean, it's especially with horror movies, right? I mean, there's plenty of great horror films out there that kind of have a basis in something you've seen before, and I think that's okay, right? I think at the end of the day, what's the old phrase that there's really only like 5 types of stories or something like that? It's like 10 types of stories. And it's really in the way that you tell it that makes it successful. And I agree with Chris. I think this is quite successful. It's, not a community that I'm a part of. It's not the one that I can fully understand, but I can empathize with it, and I can certainly be horrified by what's on the screen. And if it's bad for me, then I guess it's even worse for somebody who lives in that community.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to put in the show notes too. I'll list BJ's website so you can check out her and her writing. She does a lot of stuff in the horror community. So you should definitely check her out. Matt, I don't know. What do you think? Do you have anything else to add? Do you want to give Leviticus a grade for me?
Yeah, I'm going to give Leviticus a B+.
All right. I'm giving it an A-. I'm glad it's your week to edit, so I'll make a whole bunch of mistakes as we continue.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know one of the things too?
What's that?
I can't remember. Was I talking to the reverend at my church? I can't remember. Talking to somebody basically that the interpretation of Leviticus too, about it being man shall not lie with man, is actually not accurate. It's actually about man lying with younger men, like children. That's actually what the focus was. It was about PDF stuff than it was actual anything involving the gay community. So I found that interesting and tends to, I don't know, make more sense for me in the world of a loving God and all that other stuff. And you know why the other thing too, I found this out like 6 months ago. You know why the L is first in LGBT?
I don't.
It's to honor the lesbian nurses, because they were the ones that cared for the gay men dying of AIDS in the 80s. They were like a very representative force and really cared for them when like nobody else would want to be around them from fear of catching the AIDS, right? The lesbian nurses really were at the forefront of caring for dying gay men of AIDS. So that's why they made the L first.
Well, that's a great story, Chris. I also like how you slipped in there the AIDS, which really
Don't make it weird. Weirder than it already is.
Sure, fair enough. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
If you had a chance to see Leviticus, it's currently in theaters. Shoot us an email. We'd love to hear your thoughts. It's doing reasonably well. It's a small film out of Australia. It's rated exceptionally high. I think it's like 95 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Mia Wasikowska plays the mom, who I have not seen in a while. So I was very happy to see her in a film too. So definitely check it out, folks. All right, Matt, let's talk about what's coming up on physical media this upcoming Tuesday, June 30th. First thing, A24 has announced that they're employing a new IA program, basically, that will allow future filmmakers and artists to assist them in the making of their movies. And what this technology boils down to, which something Martin Scorsese, I'd say blessings be upon him, but I'm reconsidering that now. If he's on board with this, is this new software that will storyboard your movies for you. And they're investing heavily in this. So you can go after yourself there, A24. All right. You'd been on a downward trend for me a little bit. They started when they used AI for their Civil War posters. And Neon has been kind of on the rise for me. So, yeah, I'm a little disappointed there. So I just thought I'd notify people of that. And then finally, Matt, I'll tell you the rumors are true. As we get into the physical, let's play the clip first, even though it's not really specific to this. And I pulled the clip before this news was even announced. So it's not really germane to what I'm about to tell you, but it's still a fun clip.
There is a house I want to buy.
Let's just cut to the chase, okay? What do you want?
I want you to loan me $200,000 in cash.
No.
Betty!
You shout at me?
I shout at you. I need that money and you are going to loan it to me.
I will not.
Yes, you will.
No.
Yes, you will. I saved you 10 times that in taxes last year.
So what?
Benny, if you don't loan me that money,
You what, huh? You what?
I'll not like you anymore.
All right.
Thanks.
So that clicking sound, which you can't hear in the clip, and I think it's Jim Brown. So Tom Hanks, this is in Money Pit, which ran, I think, on HBO almost nonstop, like in the 80s. And I remember really thinking that movie was funny, though I haven't watched it, Matt, probably 30 years at least. Though pulling this clip, and watching that scene again on YouTube was absolutely hilarious to me. So Jim Brown plays a bodyguard for this child star that Tom Hanks, I think at the height of his comedic powers here, is going to ask for the money. He's actually like getting ready to grab his gun. He's taking the safety off of his gun or something, right? Just in case things get bad. And then that last click is him putting it back on. So just very, very funny stuff. The Money Pit being released, Matt, in 4K this upcoming Tuesday, June 30th. All right, let's talk about the big release, though. Now, it's not hitting until October 20th. This is the big rumor. It was confirmed today. October 20th. Save up your money now, because on the Criterion website, it's available for pre-order right now for $480. MSRP is $600. So maybe you wait for that Black Friday sale, Matt, or at least the next Criterion or Barnes & Noble 50% off sale where you can get it for $300, which still, the complete Stanley Kubrick film collection. Everything he did. All of his films, including, I believe, 2 shorts as well, are included in this. All brand new 4K restorations with the original soundtracks, 5.1 mixes restored and remastered, over 25 hours of interviews, documentaries, behind-the-scenes materials, deluxe packaging illustrated with the rare photographs, artwork, and documents annotated by Kubrick himself, all housed in a singular box inspired by his legendary archive. This looks gorgeous. Matt, you should look it up as soon as you can. But all of his films... Here's a problem. I own most of these movies already, many of them in 4K. But this box set is stunning. So I'm a little upset about it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the risk you're on. But man, 400 something street prices. It's a lot of Jake, a lot of cheddar.
It is.
Yeah.
Even at the 50% off sale, you're still paying. You're dropping 300 bills down.
Yeah.
Like I don't have Killer's Kiss. I have The Killing, Passive Glory, Spartacus, Doctor Strangelove, 2001, Clockwork Orange, Barry Lyndon, Shining, and Eyes Wide Shut. I don't have Full Metal Jacket because everything I've ever read about it that the transfer on that is garbage.
Okay.
So I haven't seen the 4K of Full Metal Jacket. I think I actually have it on DVD. But I have 4Ks of like all these other films, except for Lolita, which I don't even think is released on Blu-ray as of yet because of its, we'll say, controversial subject matter. And I've never seen Killer's Kiss. So
I've never seen his version of Lolita. I saw the one in the late 90s, early 2000s with Jeremy Irons, but I never saw Kubrick's version.
I don't think I haven't seen it either.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, whew, oh daddy, this thing looks fantastic. So check it out. All right, let's count them down, folks, shall we? Okay.
Number 5.
Number 5 is going to be something I will not be picking up. It's Arrow's Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 box set, 4K or Blu-ray. You have brand new 4K restorations of both films and brand new audio commentaries, include one by the director Paul W.S. Anderson for the first film, and just a bunch of stuff. They're garbage movies, folks. They're garbage. Maybe I don't even stand like a sentimental value. I guess if you grew up and this was right in your time ago and you're a big fan of the game, I can't get it. It's like when people collect VHS. I don't understand it. Let me watch this film in the absolute worst quality possible.
4.
I'm going to go with They Will Kill You, which is currently on HBO Max. I watched this actually over the weekend. This is a Zazie Beetz film where she plays a housekeeper who gets a job at this high-rise, which is actually filled with a bunch of Satanists, and they want to kill her and sacrifice her to the devil. There's more to it than that. Matt, it is deliriously fun when it comes to its violence and gore. But it's so concerned with being flashy that it's just it's overcome by the artifice. It's very, and it has some really just atrocious needle drops that just don't work. But for the violence and action pieces and the gore stuff, it's actually pretty good. But the rest of it, I just didn't care for. So you have a director's log on the making of the film here, and then 3 other featurettes.
Get 3 coffins ready.
Arrow is releasing the Australian classic horror film Wake in Fright, featuring Donald Pleasance, and you get a audio commentary on that, and then a whole bunch of making of featurettes, including a Q&A, some audio interviews, and alternate scenes from the Outback. I've never seen this film. I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I was able to get it for a good price, so I picked it up from my good buddy Shelby at Viper Video. He actually had it come in for me about a week ago, so I got it. Got my little red hot hands on it a couple weeks early.
Well, you 2 lovebirds take it easy, okay?
One of the best international features for last year's Oscars, Matt, is being released by Criterion in 4K called It Was Just an Accident. A small mishap triggers a chain reaction of ever-growing problems. That's a description of the film. That is an understatement. It is a fantastic movie. If you have not seen It Was Just an Accident. And when you get to the subject matter, what actually is happening, about 10, 15 minutes in, it's one of those just rocks you. Now, it's not as deeply unsettling as, what was the other one, Matt? I talked about it before. See now, this is very, very upsetting for me. We'll say 2026 International Film Oscars. It's Surat. I didn't even have to get that far. Surat. That one. Whoa. That's a film that blew me away that I never want to watch again. This too was equally great. It was just an accident. Not as severe and as intense, but still a pretty rough sit. But you definitely should check it out. And then number 1.
There can be only one.
We talked about spending a bunch of money, Matt, on the Stanley Kubrick set. But unfortunately, I have something else that you may want to be dropping a dime on, because this set looks fantastic to me, coming out from Arrow, and it is called Jackie Chan's Breakout Hits. It's a 4K set. It's available right now for $143. But here's what you get, all in 4K with brand new 4K restorations, all right? Drunken Master 2, Rumble in the Bronx, includes a Hong Kong cut, Rumble in the Bronx International cut, Thunderbolt, Police Story 4, or as we knew it here in the States, First Strike, includes the Hong Kong cut and the international cut here. Mr. Nice Guy, both Japanese and Hong Kong cuts. Mr. Nice Guy International cut. And then Who Am I? We get Hong Kong and international cuts on that as well. a slew of special features in this box set as well. And getting all these different versions of the films, and it's a 10-disc set, but it looks fantastic. If you're a Jackie Chan fan, comes with a 160-page bound book, including archival interviews with Jackie, some new essays as well, lobby card reproductions, reversible poster. And if you buy it directly from Arrow, they have an exclusive, it's a blue slip cover that slides over it. Well, the mass market one is red, with a slightly different image. But the only one of these I own, like on physical media, is Drunken Master 2, which I think is an old Warner Archive Blu-ray. I don't own the rest of them. I have Rumble in the Bronx, which I think is just if it's the U.S. cut or would it be the international cut, on digital from Apple. I bought for like $5 like 4 or 5 years ago. But I don't own any of these other ones. So I'm going to be spying this one on Amazon until we get a nice sale. Maybe an Arrow 50% off sale hits somewhere like a Barnes & Noble or something. But I do love me my Jackie Chans. So I'll be getting this at some point.
Nice. Very cool.
And some other minor stuff. King Kong, the 1978 version being released in 4K, includes an alternate cut of the film. Nobody knows sure what it is yet. Rumors are it's the TV broadcast version, which is a little bit longer. And then finally, if you are like me and you are a fan of the Stooges, which of course is Iggy Pop's band, Rhino is releasing a Blu-ray audio of the first album and Funhouse on one disc. So you get both of them for the price of one. Includes a DTS stereo, but for me, I think the key is the Atmos mixes are included on this as well. So I've listened to the Atmos mix on Funhouse because it is available on Apple Music right now. Because you would think like, well, how much more dynamic can these albums sound the way that they were recorded? And there's minor variances, it's a little airier, a little more fleshed out. You can hear things a little clearer. I think Iggy's voice sounds nicer, better in this. I bought the Rhino limited edition versions of each of the vinyls of these. So I don't know if I'll be picking up the Atmos, especially if I can just pop it on Apple Music to listen to it that way. But if you're a Stooges fan and you're a physical media guy, then maybe you want to pick this up. So I don't know, but 2 classic albums on one disc, Matt. That'll be on the 29th of June. And that is it, Matt. What will we be talking about next week? What are we going to watch?
We got a big one of the big summer blockbuster movies that I think we're waiting for. It is James Gunn's Supergirl.
I'm nervous.
Me too.
I'm nervous.
Me too. Very much so.
And I think it may still be fun, but I also think it's not going to do well.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just have this feeling that it's not going to turn out a lot of people, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough. I mean, we just got a really good Superman movie last year?
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if it's like going back to the Superman well, you know, that super family well too soon. But you know, I guess the other thing is I mean, here's hoping. I mean, but I'm not confident either.
Yeah, he's in it too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Corn Sweat is in the film, though obviously not going to have, I don't think he has a big role in it. But there's a bunch of movies coming out. And you know what's interesting around here? I don't know about you. It's only getting one Dolby screening a night where I am.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Toy Story is still getting a few of them here, though it is getting the IMAX screenings. So, but Toy Story 5 is still, I guess, doing pretty well. I heard it's pretty good. I haven't seen it, but it's also going up against the latest, or I guess the last Jackass movie, which I think will get a lot of people. So, I don't know. Here's hoping. We'll see. In the meantime, you can check us out at thefirstrun.com. Find archives of all the old shows. The report cutters there. There's a little player just to play, and I'll start rifling through episodes for you. You can also find us on Apple Pod. Nope, that's wrong, Chris. You're getting ahead of yourself. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Blue Sky, and Letterboxd. Do a search for The First Run. Scroll, you'll find us. I think on Letterboxd, though, I may be there. Chris Scalzo, Matt is there as Thurston. And then go over to Apple Podcasts. Give us a review to help other people find the show. And Matt, and I think that will be that for this week. So everybody, thank you so much for listening. We love you all very much. Please take care of yourselves. Go watch Leviticus. Give it some business. And we'll see you again soon.